the Honda Civic Type R.
It's always been a bit of an old-school hooligan, the Civic Type R. If it were in a porn film, it would play the stable lad or the plumber rather than the smooth international businessman. This 197 brake horsepower just loves to be abused. Get past 6,000 RPM and it goes berserk. You can't be too cruel to it. It just laps it up. I mean, look at this layout. The gear lever is right next to the steering wheel. It's like being in a touring car. Oh, you can just put it where you want it.
And it looks the part, nice and unsubtle, as a hot hatch should be. This is actually the new improved version, on sale now for £16,000. It's got even more in-your-face cosmetic tweaks. And while they're about it, they've also sharpened up the steering and the handling. It is superb, and pound for pound, even if there wasn't a hot hatch famine right now, it'd be head and shoulders above the rest.
Now, I'm told good news. We've got a little bit more money, which is good. Means we can carry on filming and show you this.
It's the Civic's reclusive uncle, the Honda NSX. But this is the latest and most special version, the no-nonsense, full-fat Type R. The NSX has been around for 13 years now, but you probably wouldn't know that because, well, hardly anybody's bought one.
The original NSX was always billed as the user-friendly supercar. This version, though, is totally hardcore.
Just like the BMW M3 CSL that Jeremy drove on the Isle of Man, this has been stripped with religious fervour of any excess weight. So, the bonnet, carbon fibre, as is the boot and the spoiler. And the glass partition dividing the engine compartment and the passenger compartment is made of thinner, lighter glass. Then there's the seats. They're lightweight too, with more carbon fibre. And there's this, the gaiter at the base of the gear lever. Usually leather, it's been replaced with fine mesh to save 10 grams. I could have done that wearing a thinner pair of socks. Under the skin, the brakes are stronger, the suspension sharper, and the engine race-tuned to give around 300 brake horsepower. And they've tweaked the aerodynamics to make it even more stable. In fact, they've got a bit nerdish about it.
You can even retract with this button the radio aerial to half height, because that apparently will improve the aerodynamics. Ah, come on!
The results, it has to be said, are amazing. It handles beautifully and grips like nothing else. But is it enough to make people sit up and take notice? Sadly, no.
Let me explain why. It's this. When people start messing with the shape of the gear knob and then giving it a lightweight mesh gaiter, that's when you know they're just fiddling. This isn't a car anymore. It's just an engineer's plaything.
And it costs 70 grand.
And no one's going to pay that for a Honda. The thing is, no matter how hard it tried, it was never a Ferrari.
So it's really time this car shuffled off to the Renault Alpine rest home for retired pleasant supercars. And Honda, move on. Build something else.
Step away from the NSX.
I saw an NSX the other day.
No.
I did, because it's not a big seller, is it?
No. Put it this way, they had a bumper year last year, and they sold 23. 23 in a good year.
Thing was, though, that this one was coming down the inside lane of the A40, and I was pulling on, it moved over to let me pull out, and then the driver suddenly decided he wanted to turn off. Just swipe. I've never seen a car go so close to the front of mine. It was... Oh.
Nice.
So I thought, I'll pull alongside, and I'll express my...
Displeasure.
Displeasure's a good word, with the driver of the NSX. Who should it be? Rowan Atkinson. Mr. Bean.
Good. Did he cut you up in a funny and amusing way, or just get
No,
you?
what he did was that man thing. OK, as I went alongside, he was driving with that kind of invisible blinkers on. I cannot see this enormous Mercedes here and a man waving furiously at me. And I shall just hope for the corner to come up, and then you see he's gone and I can't even hear his horn anymore.
I know that exact one, but look, we can't talk for too long, because if we do, they'll start fiddling with the thing again. So, let's get it out on the track. Banzai Stig. And away he goes. Now, it is very wet out there. You can see the NSX squirming and slithering down towards the first corner. He's sideways already. Very sideways. Ah, lovely. Stig G'ing himself along with the sound of the Ragu Pasta advert there, and getting very out of shape as he exits Chicago. Down towards the Hammerhead now. Will it understeer there? Oh, my Lord, no. That's oversteer. In the dry, this car is pretty much unstickable, but it looks like an absolute nightmare in the wet. How's it going to cope with the follow-through? Ooh, very fast, very brave, Stig. Over the first half, the NSX was about level with the 911 Turbo's wet time. It's still twitchy there. Tied into Gambon. Oh! And across the line is...